the unwavering journey. Uhtred pressed onward. His quest burned within him. The lost realm of Eldrid called to him. He would not be deterred. The path was treacherous, yet Uhtred's resolve remained unshaken. He knew his purpose. He carried the weight of his ancestors. He would not fail them. He gripped his ancestral sword tighter. He was ready for anything. Eldrid awaited him. A towering structure emerged from the mist. It was ancient and imposing. His journey's end was in sight. He prepared to enter. The temple stood silent. It exuded an aura of forgotten ages. They whispered stories of the past. Uhtred approached cautiously. He felt a sense of awe. The temple seemed to pulse with hidden energy. It was a place of power. He ran his hand along the cold stone. He could feel the echoes of time. The temple had stood for centuries. It had witnessed countless events. Uhtred felt a connection to the past. He was a part of this history. He was meant to be here. The entrance was grand and imposing. It was adorned with intricate carvings. They depicted strange creatures and symbols. Uhtred studied them carefully. He tried to decipher their meaning. They held the key to Eldrid's secrets. He was determined to unlock them. He stepped across the threshold. The air inside was cool and still. It felt heavy with ancient magic. Uhtred's senses heightened. He was on alert. The temple held both wonder and danger. He was ready to face both. Uhtred ventured deeper into the temple. The walls were lined with more cryptic symbols. He traced their outlines with his fingers. He searched for a pattern, a clue to their meaning. The symbols seemed to shift and change before his eyes. They were elusive. He continued his exploration. The temple was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers. Each turn revealed new mysteries. Uhtred felt a growing sense of anticipation. He was close to uncovering the truth. The secrets of Eldrid were within his grasp. He discovered a hidden chamber. It was bathed in an ethereal light. The source was unknown. The chamber contained a large pedestal. On it rested an ancient scroll. Uhtred approached slowly. He sensed the importance of this discovery. He carefully unfurled the scroll. It was covered in more of the strange symbols, but now they seemed clearer. He could almost understand them. They spoke of a trial, a test of worthiness. Uhtred knew what he had to do. A deep rumbling echoed through the chamber. The ground trembled. A figure emerged from the shadows. It was tall and imposing. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light. It was the guardian of the temple. Uhtred stood his ground. He would not be intimidated. The guardian spoke. Its voice was deep and resonant. It echoed through the chamber. It warned Uhtred of the dangers ahead. The trial would be perilous. Many had failed before him. Uhtred listened intently. He understood the risks. The guardian's gaze pierced Uhtred. It seemed to see into his very soul. It assessed his determination. It judged his worthiness. Uhtred met its gaze unflinchingly. He would not back down. He was ready to face the trial. The guardian nodded slowly. It seemed to approve of Uhtred's resolve. It pointed towards a darkened passage. It was the path to the trial. Uhtred took a deep breath. He prepared to enter. Uhtred stepped into the darkened passage. He felt a chill in the air. The passage was narrow and winding. It descended deep into the earth. He could feel the weight of the temple above him. He was entering the unknown. He continued his descent. The darkness was absolute. He could see nothing. He relied on his instincts. He trusted his inner strength. He would not lose his way. He would find the trial chamber. The passage opened into a vast cavern. It was dimly lit by glowing crystals. The air was thick with anticipation. In the center of the cavern, a platform stood. It was the site of the trial. Uhtred knew his destiny awaited him. He walked towards the platform. His steps were firm and resolute. He would not falter. He would face the trial with courage. He would prove his worthiness. He would claim his birthright. He was ready. Uhtred stood upon the platform. He surveyed his surroundings. The cavern was silent. He could hear his own heartbeat. He closed his eyes. He focused his mind. He prepared himself for what was to come. He drew his ancestral sword. It gleamed in the dim light. It was an extension of his will. It was his connection to his past. He held it aloft. He was ready to face his fate. He would not be defeated. He opened his eyes. He felt a surge of power coursing through him. He was ready. The trial could begin. He would face whatever challenges lay ahead. He would not surrender. He would emerge victorious. Uhtred stood resilient. His eyes burned with determination. He was a warrior. He was a descendant of Eldrid. He would not be denied. He would claim his destiny.